guys, it's Craig Check back with another Game of Thrones episode. Today we'll be reacting to Season 1, Episode 8. Once again, I've already seen the series. If you have not seen Game of Thrones all the way through Season 7, please stop watching this reaction because there is spoilers. I do compare it to future seasons, so please stop this if you have not seen all of Game of Thrones. And with that being said, let's get into this reaction. Oh yeah.
Left high, left low.
Oh no. This is the episode he gets taken out.
She's with him every morning. She always comes back with scrapes and bruises. She's so clumsy.
Hush. Go back to your room. Bar the doors. And do not open them for anyone you do not know.
What is it? What's happening?
Do as I told you. Run.
Poor Septa. God damn it.
Arya Stark, come with us. Your father wants to see you.
Doesn't look like it.
And why is it that Lord Eddard is sending Lannister men in place of his own?
Yeah.
I'm wondering.
Mind your place, dancing master. This is no concern of yours.
My father wouldn't send you.
Yeah.
I am Syrio Forel.
Foreign bastard.
And you will be speaking to me with more respect.
Kill the Bravosi. Bring the girl.
Arya, child, we are done with dancing for the day. Run to your father.
God, if he had a real sword, he would have easily just kicked all these guys' asses. Look, he's kicking them with a wood sword. But if that was an actual sword, they'd all be dead.
What do we say to the god of death?
Not today.
Go.
Fuck.
The queen.
Stay away!
Whoops. And that's the beginning of Arya being a fucking psychopath. That I love.
The rest of your household, though, all dead, it grieves me to say. I do so hate the sight of blood.
You watched my men being slaughtered and did nothing.
And would again, my lord.
Yep.
I was unarmed, unarmored, and surrounded by Lannister swords. When you look at me, do you see a hero?
Exactly.
What do you truly serve?
The realm.
The realm, my lord. Someone must.
What smell?
There is none.
Exactly.
If they'd been dead for a long time, wouldn't they be rot?
We should burn them. That smell's not wrong, my lord. Fire will do for them. The wildling way. I want Maester Aemon to examine them first. You may be a coward, Tarly. You're not stupid.
Yep.
Yet you are the daughter of a traitor. How can I allow you to marry my son?
A child born of a traitor's seed.
Poor
is no fit
Sansa.
consort for our
The
king.
first time she wrote
She's a
this
sweet thing now,
letter,
yours.
I was pissed at her, but now it's just like she's a girl and she's being just manipulated. Like,
No, I'm not. I'll be a good wife to him.
I don't know.
We'll see.
It is your sister's hand, but the Queen's words. You're summoned to King's Landing to swear fealty to the new king.
Joffrey puts my father in chains. Now he wants his ass kissed.
This is a royal command, my lord. If you should refuse to obey...
I won't refuse. His Grace summons me to King's Landing. I'll go to King's Landing. But not alone.
Rob.
Call the banners.
All of them, my lord.
They've all sworn to defend my father, have they not?
Oh.
Now we see what the words are worth.
You fear for the safety of your son. Of course I fear for the safety of my son. Are you an idiot? They killed my husband. You say they shot your boy from a window. These people will do anything, and that is why we have to stop them. The Knights of the Vale will stay in the Vale where they belong to protect their lord.
Freaking Lisa. Fucking Alistair, man.
stand for this bastard. Look, Commander.
Nope. Our first encounter, well, not our first encounter at all, but John's first time realizing, oh shit, things like this do exist.
Princess, you have a gentle heart. This is how it's always been.
I do not have a gentle heart, sir. Mikasi anishe Khal Drogo anisa velzeri.
Jujurana tiariani. Mago was the meshaka which coraso. Ohara haish raki which coraso preasajamai. Astiana hashjini chila.
Kwanza degmora. Hash dotraki shakit sisajimora, hash morikit memoa mamora.
Ash. Razig. Gova waf.
Se vorse vasandik vharevish mag akate.
Woo! You see how long my ponytail is, bitch? You're about to be added to that. Woo! Ah! So awesome. Woo!
Breaker, is it? I'll not sit here and swallow insults from a boy so greedy pisses grass.
My Lord Father told me it was death to bear steel against your liege lord. Doubtless, the great John only meant to cut my meat for me.
Your meat? Is bloody tough.
Are there really giants beyond the wall?
Giants. Worse than giants. I tried telling your brother. He's marching the wrong way. All these swords, they should be going north, boy. North, not south.
Yep.
The cold winds are rising.
They were touched by White Walkers. That's why they came back. That's why their eyes turned blue. Only fire will stop them.
Yep.
How'd you know that? I read about it in a book. A very old book in Maester Aemon's library.
And when they wake up, what?
We're screwed.
I hope the wall's high enough.
Now I find you leading a host to war.
There was no one else.
No one. Who were those men I saw here?
None of them are Starks.
All of them are seasoned in battle.
If you think you can send me back to Winterfell,
Would that I could.
if I go to King's Landing and bend my knee to Joffrey,
You would never be allowed to leave, no. Our best hope, our only hope.
You know what? I think Cersei would let them leave if they bend the knee. You
if
know?
I lose,
Do you know what?
Okay, so lost a little bit of the footage, but we edited a lot more than the last time that this happened, so hopefully you get the gist of the episode. Of course, we missed the Tywin and Tyrion's exchange. We missed Sansa begging for her father's mercy, and a couple of other things, but I'll take what I got. So we'll just have a nice conversation here. So once again, I'm going to try to start from the beginning. So the first thing that I really pulled from this episode is for the whole, like, 8 episodes so far, Varys is mysterious. You know he has spies everywhere, his little birds. You know he knows almost everything that's happening. But you never really know his motives until he has this conversation with Ned, and he has some very good lines in the conversation with Ned. Ned's like, oh, you just watched all my people be killed? He's like, I was unarmed, surrounded by Lannister swords. Do I look like a hero to you? Like, what was he supposed to do? Fight them off with his bare hands? Like, he was so right. He's like, and I would watch it again. Like, I'm gonna save myself. And I don't know if Ned straight out asks, who do you serve? I can't remember. Does he? But then he's like, I serve the realm. And you finally get to know what Varys' intentions are. He wants what's best for the realm because he used to be just a normal person that worked their way up. And now he is there for the realm. And we see this proven time and time again throughout the series that he is honestly there for what he says he is there for. And I think another great scene with Varys is when Dany calls him out, did you order them to kill me? But then he was like, I will not be, if you're looking for blind loyalty, it's not going to be me. All this stuff, you know? And I enjoy Varys' character. I really like him, so I love that scene with him. Watching Sansa's position over again, I think I've said this multiple times, I have so much more sympathy for her. I got mad the first time because I'm like, what are you doing? But what is she supposed to do? She's like a 14-year-old, and all these adults are telling her to do this, do that, or you probably will die. So I can totally understand why Sansa wrote the letter, and I sympathize with her. She's in a very tough spot. She has like one of the worst lives in Game of Thrones throughout all the seasons. I mean, she could never catch a break through most of the seasons, so feel bad for Sansa watching it over again. Robb, he has called all his bannermen. He is ready to start a war, and multiple times Catelyn said it and Tywin said it in different situations about how Robb is not a seasoned war commander. He's never fought in a war. Tywin's like, oh, he's gonna turn tail the first fight he has. Catelyn's like, you have many men around you that have been in battle, please let them run it. And Robb's like, but none of them are Starks, I'm going to do this. And obviously we know he has some good moves throughout the fight, but he ultimately ends up dead along with his mother in the Red Wedding. So I kind of said, oh, here's the beginning of Robb Stark's spiral downward, but I guess you could technically say that his start, when he really starts spiraling to his death is when he marries the nurse, because that is what breaks the promise to Walder Frey, and that is who ultimately betrays them. So yeah, Dany, we can see that she's a little too trusting. She's trying to do the right thing. She's trying to save these women from being raped. But of course, she's the whole reason why they're attacking this town. They need gold. So I don't know. She's trying to be good while they're doing awful things, and she's just too trusting with the one lady, because obviously we know she is a witch, and she ends up screwing Dany and Khal Drogo over. They end up making Drogo a vegetable. Dany loses her baby, and she loses to Khalzar. So this is also just, it's like a 3-episode spiral of Dany and Khal Drogo. So we all know that this is not going to work out well just from one little cut. Could have been fixed. Catelyn said to Robb, if you go to King's Landing, they'll never let you leave. I actually disagree. I believe that if Cersei inviting Robb, if Robb would have bent the knee, she might have let him go and Ned go. Ned, maybe that's more of a gray area, but I think she would have let Robb and everyone go due to the fact that in last episode, she did give Ned a chance. She said, bend the knee, say that Joffrey's king, and I'll let you go back to Winterfell. And I truly believe she would have, but Ned was too honorable to do that. Or you could say too stupid to do that. So I do believe Cersei's actually giving Robb a chance. Maybe that's the optimist in me. I don't know. Tywin, once again, he had that great scene with Jaime talking about we're all going to die. All all that carries on is our name. And he says that to Tyrion. Tyrion's like, oh, you started a war for me, blah, blah. He's like, he says something along the lines of, wasn't for, well, the house's name was at stake. So we know that, like, that is a main key point that he always strives for, is for the house name to be feared and respected. So we got another establishment of that with Tywin in this episode. And then we have, of course, the scene with Barristan Selmy where Joffrey and Cersei release him of his duties as a Kingsguard. And, of course, he is offended. And I just love this with Game of Thrones. You could have had this scene with him and never had him show up again, and it would have been fine. Like, we would have just had that scene with him. But once again, Game of Thrones doesn't throw characters away. They bring him back in season 5 or 4, I believe. And he becomes the hand to Dany, or the advisor to Dany. So I love how Game of Thrones always recycles their characters and brings them back, because otherwise it wouldn't be pointless to have that scene with him, but it adds importance to him, and we know who he is when he shows up again. So I really admire that. Tyrion, of course, is now with Bronn, and they got the Hill Tribes to work, and Tyrion was told that he has to fight in the front lines with the Hill Tribes, which would be awful. And I heard in the books he actually does fight, but of course in season 1 Game of Thrones they did not have the budget for that, so they knocked him out with a hammer in the next episode, I believe. It's whatever. But yeah, this is a very good episode. Of course, we all know what's next, the dreaded 1-9, so I'll watch that probably Friday, Saturday, and get that up for you guys. Not looking forward to rewatching that. Honestly, I admired Ned. I was shocked by his death. I don't know if sad is a word, and you guys might hate me for that, but I believe there's much sadder deaths in Game of Thrones than Ned Stark. But I'm still affected by it, so we'll see how that goes when I have to watch it again. So with that being said, I'll see you in 1-9, the dreaded beheading of Ned Stark. And with that being said, see you next time.